Hello, students. I hope you all are fine at your home and you are enjoying your studies. Every time you think that I'm always telling you are enjoying, but maybe you think, sir, we are not enjoying, but you have to enjoy. It's my kind request because you have to understand only the concept. If you understand the concept, study is become enjoying as well as it is very easy. So don't take as a burden, don't take it is as a means hard work. Just go through it, just try to understand the concept. It is that much in some datas which is you have to learn. It is that much. Okay, so just try to understand the concept of the each point, then study will become very easy. So now let's today I'm studying the next topic. It is the tropical desert. Last time we have started the natural regions of the world in it. Last time we have already covered one topic. Today I'm going to start the tropical desert. The tropical desert, first of all, we can see its location. So if you see the location, before it you have to see the map. Now you can see that this is the map of world, and in center you can see that there is a equator. Last time we already discussed the equatorial type of climate. Now this is the tropic of Cancer and this is the tropic of Capricorn. So this area is now the part of this tropical. Why it is called tropical? Because it is near to tropical zone. Okay, tropic of Cancer and tropic of Capricorn. That's why it is called tropical. Okay, and why? Because in this region most of the deserts are located. Now you can see here also, and you can now see here also. So if you can see, these are the diagrams. Okay, these all are the uh, deserts in the tropical region. So I hope it is clear why it is called tropical desert and what are these. Okay, so now if you see this map properly, so it is very easy to understand. Now come on the part. First of all, the location. World's hot desert lie, because this in this tropical desert I'm talking about the desert, so obviously it is very hottest part. So world's hot desert lies latitude between 15-degree north to 30-degree north and south as well as. So I told this is the earth equator, this is the 15-degree. Okay, and 15-degree north, here 15-degree, this is the 15-degree north and this 30-degree. Okay, this complete region, and here also 15-degree north and 15-degree south. Okay, then the both direction. Okay, 15-degree to 30-degree north and 15-degree to 30-degree south, and in center there is a equator. In map you can easily understand, so no need to learn, only you have to understand this tropic of Capricorn and tropic of Cancer, which is lies on the 23 and half degree. So just make it average, 23 and half above 30, 23 and half below 15, so it becomes an average. So this is the area in which this tropical desert lies. But exception, it is the Sahara Desert. Sahara Desert is extensive. It is the largest desert in the world. So that's why its area is very vast. So some part is extended. Okay, remember it. So it crosses the limit. Next one is the area or region. What are the areas, what are the regions covered in this tropical desert? So first of all, the Sahara Desert, which is in Africa, Arabian, Iranian, and the Thar Desert, which is in Asia, and along with that part, and then Australian Desert. Okay, it is also called Great Australian Desert. Then Kalahari in Namibia, which is in Africa also. Atacama Desert also in that part. Sorry, Atacama Desert, it is in the South America. California and Mexican Desert, it is in North America. So these all are the areas, these all are the regions in which this tropical desert lie, or these are the regions. Next one, it is the temperature. Obviously we know that this is the central part. If I'm talking about the earth, in the central part, and we if you studied in the last class, this is the torrid zone. Okay, so maximum insolation of sunlight is in that part, so obviously it is very hottest in nature. If it is hottest in nature, so temperature is obviously high. Okay, so now last time I already cleared you what is the diurnal range and what is the annual, in the monthly basis or in the annual basis. These are the range. Okay, remember this is not the highest temperature. Okay, this is the range. It means if temperature is 0 degree and up to the 41 degree, so how much range? It means 41, or maybe we can say that another way, minus 10 degree till the 30 degree, so it is how much? 40. So like that, how much difference is there in between the lowest temperature and the highest temperature? That is called the diurnal range and the annual range. So how much the difference? It means in the daytime the temperature is very high. At the same opposite, at the night time the temperature is very cold. Now you can see here the diurnal range is 41.7 degrees Celsius and the annual range it is 17.22 degree Celsius. Why? Because of the insolation. I already explained you. Insolation, it means the sunlight directly falling on it. The highest temperature. Why? Because no vegetation is available there, no evaporation. Why no evaporation? Because no clouds are there, no water vapor is there. So that's why in this region temperature is very high and the skies are very clear. That's why also. Now we come on the next point. Now see, next one, it is the precipitation. In simple language, if you understand what is the precipitation, precipitation means the rainfall. Okay, so obviously if it is the hottest part, so that's why the rain is very low. So that's why centi rainfall means very less than 12 centimeter. If I'm talking about the average it is 50 to 75. Average it is the 50 to 75, or we can say that the 100 centimeter. But here how much you can see? You can see only 12 centimeter. It means the rainfall is very less. Okay, that's why centi rainfall. Rate of evaporation is high. Rate of evaporation, because no vegetation is there, so that's why the evaporation is very high. Then precipitation, on the place of precipitation means on the place of rainfall the evaporation is high, because every place is open, the sunlight is falling on it and the evaporation is going very high. Okay, just clear this point. It is known, you just cut it. Evaporation is high. Okay, here clear. Then characteristics features of the tropical desert type of climate. Now already we have covered this 4 point. On the basis of this 4 point, what are these 4 point? This location, area, temperature, and precipitation. So in these four bases, you can also write their characteristics. It is very easy. Now, obviously, what kind of climate? It is a hot, rainfall is less. So you can write this same point in the form of characteristics. Now see, rain rarely falls means very sudden, very rarely it occurs. Okay, and average rainfall is 12 centimeters, already we have discussed. Average temperature is 29 degrees Celsius in a hot and 10 degrees Celsius in a cool. Okay, then I'm talking about the average. Okay, average temperature, not highest. Talking about average temperature is 29 degrees Celsius means always the temperature is near about 29 and more than 8, and below it is 10 degree. Then absence of clouds cause reach temperature up to 49 degrees Celsius. There is no cloud cover. It means what will happen, if you have studied the insolation chapter. In the insolation, just like this is the earth, the sunlight is falling on it. Now the sunlight again reflect back. This sunlight again reflect back, and this all radiation is go out in the atmosphere. But if there is a cloud here, so this energy or this hotness can stay here, but if there is no cloud it will go out in the our atmosphere. Okay, so that's why atmosphere we can say away from the space, so that's why the temperature is very high. So absence of cloud cover, that's why temperature is near about 49 degree Celsius. At night 15 degrees centigrade to 5 degree means it's how much below. In the night time the temperature is very low, 15 to 5 degrees Celsius, due to the high clear sky. Okay, and high radiation. Because in the daytime the temperature is very high, it is just opposite. At night it is open places, clear sky is there, high radiation is there, that's why the temperature is very low. Next one, it is the natural vegetations. What kind of vegetation is available? There is no need to explain. If in the desert you know very well about the vegetations. The xerophytic plants, I think in biology if we have studied the xerophytes plant, which are the plants which live in very extreme condition, is without water or very less amount of water. They are called the xerophytic plants. Now see, plants can withstand high temperature and for long time means they can live with a high temperature for long time, just like other plants. If that much temperature, so they will burn. It means burn, it means not burning. Burn means they will die. Okay, but these plants may live in a high temperature also for the long period of time. Why? Because they are the xerophytic plants. In this area, xerophytic plants are present. Xerophytes I already cleared what is it. Plants have long roots. Why? Because of the long roots, because the water is very deep inside the earth. So that's why for the reaching to the water, the roots are very long, tough and very heavy, needle shaped leaves. The leaves are like a needle shape, or either the spikes on it, or the way tough leaves are there to reduce the transpiration. I think this transpiration term also studied in the biology. Transpiration means the rate of evaporation from the plant. It is called transpiration. Okay, the most plants are drought resistance, like cacti. Drought resistance means even in drought region, in sukha region, they can survive. What are the examples? Cacti, cactus, thorny bushes, and the coarse grasses. So these all are the example of natural vegetation. Then talking about the crops. Now you think that sir, crop is available in the desert area? Yes. If the water is available. Now remember, if we have studied in the soil part, so there are one also kind of soil. It is called sandy soil. So it is also one kind of soil. You don't think it is infertile. Yes, the fertility is not that much high, but the plants can grow. That's why even the cactus and the other plants are also growing, na? But the water available, because the holding capacity of water is very less. That's why the water is most of the water is evaporated. So that's why sorry, that's why you have to understand this thing. What is that? The crop can also grow here if water is available. Only if irrigation available through the oasis, river, dams, so crops can grow. Example is Egypt. In Egypt, irrigation by the Nile river. That's why I think there is also one chapter in last class 8. It was the Nile, which is a gift of Egypt. You know, yeah, I think you have studied this chapter. Why? Because mainly grow because of this. In Egypt, by the Nile river canals, they irrigated, and after irrigation they will grow cotton, rice, wheat, barley, and beans. Even the cotton is required too much water. Why? Because the Nile river is having a very high amount of water. That's why it is a gift of Egypt. Now there is also one basin irrigation terminology. I think you understand what understand basin. Basin, it means near to the river bank. So this basin irrigation means over flooded water. Now what will happen? Sometimes the water, the rainfall is very high, and suddenly the rivers or the near about that area is over flooded with the water. Then what will happen? These basins caught raised banks. There, just like this is the river, and this water is spread in this area. So automatically this area is irrigated, and this irrigate the crops. And after this irrigation crops, they will grow the crops, and after that these crops can grow. So this is called the basin irrigation. It is a natural process. So by this way they also utilize this way in they will grow the crops. Now the life is very difficult in that area, so only few peoples are living, or these are the nomads. Okay, they are the Adivasi people, we can say that they are the nomads. Now what are these? Human adaptation in the tropical desert or the hot desert, basically life of bushmen in Kalahari. So there is one kind of nomads which are called bushmen, which is in the Kalahari desert. Kalahari is in the Africa. They are also called Bedouins, but these Bedouins are something different from these bushmen. Okay, now see, Bushmen are nomads, as I already told. They are the Adivas, like they are living in jungle area, or they are means Khana Badosh. We can say that. Change shelter. Always they are changing shelter because they are not having a fixed place to live. In search of food, water, and posture. But sometimes they are also living in a family, in a 12 to 15 people's of a family in the group, because most of these nomads are living in a group. Okay, but they are not having a permanent house, the pakka house. They are living in shelters, caves, like that, this kind of area. But they are always moving, they are always shifting in search of food, water, and posture. They hunt wild animals. Yes, the some wild animals are available. Because of that, they are collecting. They are hunting it. They are collecting fruits, roots, tubers, and insects. You also thought that, sir, in the desert, no vegetation, no fruits, so how they are searching? But still, there are some areas near to oasis. Oasis, it means oasis are the area where the water is available in the desert. In the desert areas like the pond, na? In our area there's pond, same like there's the oasis in the desert. So near to oasis, the water is available. That's why some kinds of fruits and vegetations is available. Okay, then white ant are their favorite food. Now what are the white ants? It means a dimak. If you have heard what are the dimaks, so these white ants are favorite food. Okay, they eat raw or the half cooked food. Raw, it means kacha. Okay, they eat the directly direct meat of that animals, or either half cooked food. Okay, they are not cooked properly. Is a wealth. Now, just like you are having money, but they are not having money as a wealth. You are having house, business, whatever it is, but for the wealth they are having sheep, goat, camels, horses. They are rearing these all the animals. Okay, and because of that they will uh, utilize it, and they will do some their daily works. Okay, in the earlier time, if you have heard, even the cows are also the wealth. If a person is having more cows, it means he is the more wealthiest person. Same like that, because they are nomads. That's why their wealth is shows by the its ships, goods, camels, and horses. Their dress, obviously, they are the nomads. That's why dress made up of animal skin. Okay, they are made up of with the animal skin. For the utensils, yes, they are using the ostrich egg shells. Okay, ostrich eggshell, they are very big shells. So for making food or something, for boiling or something like that, they are using the ostrich eggshells. Bushmen use bows, arrows, spears, knives, and sticks, obviously for the hunting. So these all are the tools by which they are using hunting or doing other works. Basically, the more male occupation, it means what they are doing. So they are doing hunting, and females are doing collecting roots, water. Okay, what they are collecting, roots and water, and male are doing the hunting. Next one, it is the very intelligent. What are the intelligent? Yes, you think that I am the smart one, you are the smart one, but they are also very intelligent. That's why the life in the desert is very difficult. If they are not intelligent, if they are not smart, any wild animal can kill them. So that's why they are very intelligent. Okay, and believed in the evil spirit, Buri Atma. They believe in Buri Atma, the evil spirits. Then very backward by the economically, socially, and culturally. We thought that in our prospect, just like we are very economically very grown, socially, culturally, but in my opinion, in the socially and culturally they are very grown, either economically, but they are not having any tension, they are not having depression, they are not having any queries. Okay, pareshani, duvidha, shanka, trouble, what I am talking about, always talking about. So that's why, but in book it is written they are backward. So the book's perspective is different, because we are in the modern era. So we are always comparing with a modern, so you just understand they are backward by the economically, socially, and culturally. But even they are living very live together, but we are living very individually. So how we can say that they are the non-social. Okay, now one more kind of peoples, they are called the Phalian. This Phalian are also living in the Nile Delta region, but it is in the water area region. Okay, so in the Nile Valley, human civilization is grows. I think there is also Egyptian civilization. You have heard it is the oldest civilization in the history. You have studied about the Egyptian civilization. So this believed that this civilization is also, and these Phalians are the part of that. Okay, hundreds of small villages in the delta region. Their farmers, these farmers are called the Phalians. So who are the Phalians? Phalians are basically the farmers. Those that are living in small villages in the Nile Valley region. Okay, Nile Valley region. Just understand they are the farmers living in the small villages in the delta region, living in Nile Valley region. So understand what is the Phalians. Now, what is their life? Basically, they lead a settled life. Yes, they are not like a nomads. They are not moving from here to there, but they are settled life. Okay. Next one, it is they are agriculturalist. Agriculturalist means they are very good in agriculture, because they are having very less resources but still they grow the crops. That's why they are called agriculturist. Each household has individual farms. They are most of the family, each family is having their own land for the growing it, but the size is very small. They are each family is having their own farm, but small average farm. Okay, average size of farm only 1 hectare per family. In farms divided into small plots, these plots, okay, and irrigated by the canals by the river Nile. So this is the life of this violin. So I hope this chapter is you understand. If any problem, dikkat, pareshani, duvidha, shankar, trouble, whatever you are, you can write, comment. I will try to answer it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your studies. Don't take tension. Don't pressurize it. Study is not everything, but study is very so much thing. Okay, or we can say that the it is a part of your life. That's why you just do it. And even nowadays you don't have any other work, so why you distract, why you change your mind? We can do that, we can do yes, you can in part, in a part time you can do also other things, you can learn other things, but you must focus in study also. Okay, I can only request the part from your side, you have to understand. Okay, not too much doing study, but something you have to do. Thank you so much. Okay, last message: obey your parents, listen them. Okay, because they are the part of life, whatever you are now, because of your parents, so always obey them. Chalo, thank you so much. Next time we will do it with the next topic. Thank you.